It is said that Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos are going to leave New York City for London. The couple's daughter Lola moved to London in 2023, and she has been putting pressure on them to buy a house there, they said on a recent live show. Lola is always trying to get us to move to London, as if we don't work in New York, Kelly said. She'll leave us these subtle hints when she's home, when there is something on sale in London. What I love is the way she thinks of us, as Bezoses, Kelly said, referring to the Bezoses, who helped start Amazon and are now worth billions of dollars. She asks, "This one. Okay, we'll buy that castle in the Cotswolds," he said. The happy couple lives in a $27 million apartment on Manhattan's Upper East Side right now. Kelly and Mark bought the huge house 12 years ago and turned it into a modern home with French and old Hollywood touches. They got the idea for the changes from the movie Mommy Dearest. The place Kelly calls her favorite place on earth is her home. We've moved several times in our lives, but no matter where we go, for me, this is my forever home, she said. As soon as I walked into this building, I thought, this is the last place I will live. This house is really great, she said. I don't want to sound morbid, but they'll have to carry me out of your feet first because I've gotten good and comfortable in this house. Lola, on the other hand, lives in London, a long way from there. Lola moved to London from New York City permanently after going to the Clive Davis Institute of Recorded Music at New York University to study abroad in England. Kelly said on an episode of her show, Let's Talk Off Camera, that's where she's lived for the past 2 years. I love London so much. If you can, everyone should try to live in London for at least a year, or even just 8 months. I think it's the perfect city. New York is where my heart is. New York will always be my home. However, London has an enticing charm. It's absolutely stunning, the would-be musician said. Kelly and Mark got married in Las Vegas without telling anyone the year before. They met on the set of the soap show All My Children. Afterward, Joaquin, 22, Michael, 28, and Lola, 24, were made welcome. The talk show hosts pulled off the ultimate surprise on December 12th when they went to London, England, to see their daughter Lola's first performance. Hello. Saw the couple sneak inside the lower third, a music and cocktail spot with multiple rooms, on Denmark Street in Soho. They were both wearing newsboy caps. Kelly told us that the show had made her cry because she was so proud of her daughter. We can't think straight. This is the reward for all her hard work. And you won't believe it. She said that the biggest surprise of all was pulled off. We waited so she wouldn't know we were here because we planned to surprise her after everything was over. We didn't want to make her nervous. Lola told us how surprised she was to see her parents. I cried because I didn't know they were coming, what Lola said. You saw my reaction. I want to have a glass of wine soon because I have all this adrenaline rushing out. But I am really happy, she said. It's a huge blessing that everyone came to show their support. Thank you very much. Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos have, for many years, exemplified a version of celebrity life that is uniquely American. This version includes hectic mornings, packed schedules, and family routines that are crammed in between shooting studio lights and walking red carpets. However, the long-term pair recently startled their admirers with a statement that is both daring and refreshingly human. They are seriously considering moving to a different country. It became very evident that this was not only a case of daydreaming when Kelly summed it up in 3 easy words. We will buy that. A spontaneous impulse did not give rise to the concept of relocating to a different country. It appears like Kelly and Mark are entering a period of introspection, similar to the situation that many people find themselves in after decades of working at a relentless pace. The question that needs to be asked now is not what comes next in terms of their professional lives. Rather, it is where and how we want to live. Their children are either grown or growing up, and their careers are well established. It seems that the solution lies in their natural curiosity, the way they live their lives, and their yearning for a more profound connection to the mundane aspects of everyday life. Frequently, Kelly has expressed her fondness for routine, but she has also expressed her desire for simplicity. She has always highlighted the significance of normalcy, which includes walking, cooking, and observing life rather than racing through it, despite the fact that she has a polished on-screen presence of her own. Living abroad provides just that, a slower rhythm, a different cultural perspective, and the opportunity to experience life without the incessant hum of American celebrity culture. This is what the idea of living overseas offers. Mark, on the other hand, has developed a cosmopolitan sensibility over the course of his life. Due to the fact that his roots and influences extend beyond the United States, The concept of relocating to another country seems like a natural extension of who he is personally. As he has mentioned in the past, he has expressed his admiration for the lifestyles of Europeans, where meals are considered sacred, time is flexible, and relationships frequently take precedence over timetables. Not only do they appear to share a desire for more accomplishments, but it also seems that they share a desire for more life in their lives. The tone of their statement is what helps it resonate with people. There was no dramatic statement, and there was no unveiling that was properly choreographed. Rather, it had a laid-back and almost fun vibe about it. "We buy" was not a word that spoke to luxury. Rather, it was concerned with commitment. It implied that if they fall in love with a location, they will not overthink the decision to go there. Both their emotions and their practicality will be invested. This way of thinking is surprisingly accessible, particularly in a society where a lot of individuals fantasize about migrating to a different country, but have very little courage to really do it. It goes without saying that moving to a foreign country is not simply about the stunning landscapes and lovely cafes. Adapting to new systems, languages, and habits, as well as adapting to inconveniences, is a necessary step. Both Kelly and Mark are well aware of this. Instead of being an indication of escapism, their openness regarding the idea demonstrates maturity. This is not a matter of evading anything. Rather, it is a matter of advancing towards something, which includes development, curiosity, and reinvention. The couple's honesty breaks through the typical narrative that is associated with celebrities, which has resulted in overwhelming support from fans. They do not follow trends or publish perfectly manicured illusions on their social media accounts. On the contrary, they are discussing a really genuine thought process, which is as follows. What would make us happy in the long run? Through this action, they grant others, particularly those in the middle of their lives or later phases, the authority to ask the same question without fear of repercussions. In addition to that, the concept possesses a very romantic quality. An example of partnership in its purest form is when a married couple who have been together for a significant amount of time choose to begin a new chapter together in an unknown location. At this point, it is no longer about comfort zones. Rather, it is about shared adventure. This kind of connection conveys a sense of aspiration. It is not flashy in a superficial sense, but it is significant and long-lasting. From a professional standpoint, neither Kelly nor Mark are going to completely withdraw from their jobs. Moving overseas might, if anything, present opportunities for new artistic endeavors. Remote employment, worldwide initiatives, and global media platforms have made it far simpler than ever before to maintain connections even when one is physically located in a different location. The move that they would make would not be a sign of concluding, but rather of progressing. In terms of culture, their choice is reflective of a more widespread movement. As more individuals question the pace of modern life, they are also reevaluating their priorities and reframing what it means to be successful. Downsizing is what this means for some people. Relocating is what it means for some people. The transparency displayed by Kelly and Mark is a reflection of this collaborative reevaluation, which gives the impression that their narrative is fresh and pertinent rather than distant and exclusive. When all is said and done, the simplicity of their revelation is what gives it its strength. The phrase "we buy" refers to more than just real estate. Rather, it is in reference to purchasing a new way of life. Making the decision to prioritize present over pressure and experience over anticipation is the key. Whether they find themselves in Europe, by the sea, or in a peaceful historic town, the lesson that they take away from their experience is the same. Life does not have to be the same forever, especially when it is already positive. The lesson conveyed is motivational for those who are watching from a distance. Those who are young or insecure are not the only ones who may reinvent themselves. Everyone who is willing to imagine a new version of their life and is courageous enough to consider making it a reality can take advantage of this opportunity. Not only are Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos making preparations for a move, but they are also serving as a visual representation of what it means to dream boldly, collectively, and without apology.